ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थे सुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आविश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। आप सभी का स्वागत है आज के इस गीता के प्रवचन में।
We welcome all of you to today's Bhagavad Gita class. We are studying third chapter, verse 20 onwards. Bhagavan Shri Krishna is answering Arjuna's question. Arjuna had asked, please tell me decisively what I should do so that I will achieve the ultimate benefit. Because Arjuna's confusion was that Bhagavan spoke of two things, Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga, and Arjun felt that Jnana Yoga is superior to Karma Yoga. But still, Bhagavan told Arjun to fight in the war, which is Karma Yoga. So Arjuna got confused. If Jnana Yoga is superior, then why does he want to engage me in this ghastly war? So in reply to that,
विस्तृत रूप से
first of all, Bhagavan gave a detailed explanation of Karma Yoga, what is the importance of karma,
कर्म के बिना कोई भी रह
why
नहीं
one should
सकता।
perform karma, and how nobody
फिर अर्जुन
can
को
continue
समझाने
to
की
live
शुरुआत
without
की
performing karma. And then he
तो
told Arjuna clearly
तस्माद्
that
असक्तम
he should
कार्यं
perform karma.
अशक्त ही आचरण कर्म परम आपनोति पुरुष। लेकिन कर्म जो है वो आसक्ति त्याग कर करना चाहिए,
Karma should be done
जो
with
कि
detachment,
थोड़ा समस्याजनक बात है, क्योंकि
which is little
कोई भी कर्म
difficult to
करते हैं किसी
understand,
प्राप्ति के लिए,
because when one performs karma, he performs it to obtain something.
आनंदोपि न प्रवर्तते। और भगवान कहते हैं कि तुम आसक्ति छोड़ के, फल की आसक्ति छोड़
And
के,
Bhagavan is telling that you give up your attachment to the fruit and perform karma.
फल की आसक्ति, कर्तृत्व आसक्ति, ये सब छोड़िए। द्वितीय अध्याय में भी ये बात कही थी उन्होंने, कर्म ने भी।
In the second chapter also he had told,
कर्मण्येव अधिकारस्त्वं मा फलेषु कदाचन। उसमें कहा फल के लिए तुम्हारा अधिकार नहीं है, यानी कि तुम्हारा स्वातंत्र नहीं
that
है
you
इसमें।
do not have the independence to decide the phala.
ये हमारे
So
लिए
Bhagavan placed lot of emphasis on this.
क्योंकि हम जब भी कुछ भी करते हैं तो कुछ प्राप्त करने
This is against our experience, because whenever we do something, we do it to obtain some fruit. Otherwise, why shall we do that?
नौकरी करते हैं, ऑफिस में जाते हैं, तो इसलिए
If
जाते
you
हैं कि
are
आपको
doing job in the office, you are doing your job to get the fruit, that is the salary. But if the boss says that you do your work but we will not pay you anything, then will you work? You won't work even for a day.
तो ये भगवान की बात
In fact, if somebody pays you more, you leave your present job and take up the other one. So then how can we accept this, that Bhagavan is telling us to work with detachment? So this is the law of karma. Karma binds us in the sense that we get bound by the fruit. That if we will perform the karma only if we get the fruit, not otherwise. So then what has happened? We have become a slave of the fruit.
तो उससे आपकी संतुष्टि नहीं होती है।
And when we get the result of the karma, we do not remain satisfied with that.
तस्य मानव आत्मन्येव संतुष्ट है तस्य कार्यम न विद्यते। जो स्वयं में संतुष्ट है, तो आज समाज में
So one who is self-satisfied,
हर एक आदमी असंतुष्ट।
today nobody is self-satisfied.
पहले राजा महाराजाओं के पास भी इतनी संपत्ति नहीं होती थी जितनी आजकल आप एल्टन मस्क के पास देख सकते हैं।
Earlier, even kings did not used to have so much wealth like now. What you see with people like Elon Musk, they are controlling the whole world.
अब वो बेचारे कुछ नहीं कर सकते इसमें, और कोई उसको जवाब देने के लिए तैयार नहीं है कि क्यों मेरा अकाउंट बंद हुआ। तो ऐसे किसी का भी हो गया, ट्रम्प का भी बंद कर दिया था उसने पहले।
So they control others' social media accounts.
कर रहे हैं, लेकिन उनको
So they are controlling everything. They are not satisfied.
क्योंकि संतुष्टि उसी को मिलेगी जो अपने आप में संतुष्ट है। संतुष्टि आपको बाहर कहीं नहीं मिल सकती है।
Only one who is self-satisfied.
कोई पैसे में देखता है, कोई
Satisfaction can be obtained within only. Satisfaction cannot be obtained in another people.
वहाँ जाके हम पिकनिक मनाएंगे,
Somebody says that you go to this place, that place, we will be satisfied.
वहाँ भी तो लोग पहले से ही रह रहे
But if you go to other places, there also same situation. There are people who are already living there.
हैं ना, वहाँ पर वो संतुष्ट है क्या?
Are they satisfied?
छोड़ के जहाँ आप रहते
They want to leave that place and they want to come to your place.
कोई न्यूयॉर्क में रहता है तो
Somebody is living in New York, he wants to go to Jamaica, and the person in Jamaica, he is trying to get visa for USA. He wants to settle in New York. So whoever is in whichever place, the person is not satisfied. Nobody is satisfied with his present situation.
कहीं भी देख लो आप,
Everywhere, same situation. So that is what Bhagavan is explaining here, that my dear child, please try to understand. Give up attachment. All these animals, birds, whatever we see here, they are satisfied. Why? Because they do not have attachments. Bird lays egg, and when the child grows up, the child flies away and doesn't come back.
चला जाता है ना, आसक्ति नहीं है, इसलिए मस्त है।
So the bird doesn't have attachment. That's why the bird is happy.
कोई उसका बैंक बैलेंस नहीं है, और कोई
doesn't have any job, no bank balance, no credit card,
उसका फेसबुक अकाउंट भी नहीं है,
and the bird also does not have any Facebook account.
तो वो मस्त है एकदम.
Then the bird is very happy.
तो मनुष्य की संख्या कितनी 7 बिलियन कहते हैं अभी, लेकिन ये
People say that the current population is around 7 billion, but these other living entities like the animals, birds, etc., their total count must be more than even 70 billion, billions of times more than the count of human beings. But human being who has got intelligence, who has hand, legs, who is most capable to live,
और वो चिंता में रहता है.
he is always in anxiety.
समझाने के लिए भगवान आते हैं,
And Bhagwan comes to explain
कर्म जो है ये तुमको
to the human being only. So he is telling that this karma is binding you, but karma will only liberate you also.
आप विज्ञान सीखो,
But you have to understand the science
कैसे करना
behind the law of karma,
आनंद में रहो, क्योंकि
how you should perform karma so that you remain happy. So Bhagwan will give his own example also, that see how I perform karma, but I remain always happy. Why? Because I know the science behind karma. So he'll explain in depth what is karma, what is karma, what is akarma. He will say that even great intellectuals, they also become deluded in understanding karma. So till the end, Bhagavan will place emphasis on this point.
शास्त्र के विधान को समझो तब काम
He says that understand the laws in Shastra and work accordingly. Learn Shastra and then work.
तो इस बात पर
Otherwise, you will fall down. So Bhagavan is again and again making this point. It's surprising that out of 700 verses in Gita, in so many chapters, Bhagavan speaks of karma only. In the 18th chapter, he will start playing the trumpet about karma. Then in the midst a little bit he speaks about himself also.
लेकिन बात उनका यही है.
But again and again he is coming back to the point of karma only.
हो सकता है कि कर्म की बहुत बात करते हैं, लेकिन क्या कर्म से मेरे को मोक्ष मिल जाएगा?
So Arjun may think that Bhagavan is speaking so much about karma, but will I get liberation by karma?
लोक संग्रम एवापि संपंशन कर्तुम अर्हसि. निस्संदेह केवल निष्काम कर्म से ही जनक आदि ने सिद्धि प्राप्त की थी.
Indeed, by motiveless action alone, Janaka and others realized perfection. Considering to the right ideal to be set for the instruction of people in general, you should certainly perform your duty. So even you have to educate somebody. This is the system of educating. First of all, explain the tattva, then give an example. And then give the logic behind that. That is what Bhagavan is doing here. First of all, he explained the tattva of karma. And now he is giving an example. Don't think that I am telling you only. Earlier also, many people achieved perfection just by karma. Not some ordinary people, great intellectual people like Janaka, they achieved this. Janaka was not an uneducated person, he was a great Jnani. Janaka's name is in the Upanishads also. And he used to conduct a lot of Shastrarthas, discussions on Shastra in his kingdom. So always there were many philosophers in his kingdom, in Mithila, meaning Shukdev Goswami, who is the son of Vyasa, and Vyasa, who who has given Bhagavad Gita, Puranas, everything, and who divided the Ved into 4 parts. His son Shukdev, he also went to Janaka and studied under him. There is a story in Mahabharata that Shukdev, he went to Janaka and he studied under Janaka. Shukdev is also a student of Janaka.
जो यम
So such an avadhut like Shukdev.
पायनो विरह कातर आजुहावे पुत्रेति तन्मयतातर वो विनय धूतम सर्वभूत हृदय मुनिमान तो अस्मि। जो अपना घर छोड़ के चल दिए थे जन्म के
The
बाद ही
Shukdev who had left his
से
home,
दौड़ रहे हैं, हे पुत्र कहाँ जाते हो। तो वो भी उनसे जाकर पढ़े जनक। तो वो जनक
so
राजा
he
थे,
also, the Shukdev also went to
नहीं थे,
Janaka and studied under him.
उन्होंने संन्यास नहीं लिया,
Janaka was a Kshatriya. He remained a king. He did not take sannyas.
कर्म से ही उनको सिद्धि प्राप्त हुई।
And he achieved perfection just by karma.
कर्मणा
So that's what Bhagavan is explaining here.
जनकादय। तो इस श्लोक में भगवान दो बात कर रहे हैं।
So in this verse, Bhagavan is making 2 points. One is
इस कर्म की
the example that the karma that I am discussing,
कहते हैं हाँ हुई है।
has anybody achieved perfection earlier by performing karma? So Bhagavan is telling yes, not just one, but many, like Janaka, and there are others also. Other kings have also been there in history who achieved perfection just by karma. And along with that, Bhagavan is giving the logic also that why you should perform karma. So, first of all, he says that Janaka achieved perfection just by karma. And the second logic he is giving here is that for instruction of people in general, also you should certainly perform karma.
तो कहते हैं कर्मणा एव ही। तो दो शब्द
He says here karmana eva he. He has used 2 words, eva and he.
तो एव का मतलब है अन्य योग व्यवच्छेद, यानी कि कर्म से ही सिद्धि हुआ उनका।
Eva means that he achieved perfection just by karma, not by jnana, not by any other path, just by karma.
तो ये कर्म का महत्व बताते हैं।
So this is the importance of karma that he explains. Sri Ramanujacharya comments on this verse saying,
कर्म है वो ज्ञान से श्रेष्ठ है।
Eva here means that karma is superior to Jnana Yoga,
ये भ्रम था
because Arjuna had this confusion in mind that he was thinking that Jnana Yoga is superior to Karma Yoga, then why is Bhagavan engaging me in Karma Yoga? So Sri Ramanujacharya says that when Bhagavan is telling here that Karmana eva he,
उसको भी कर्म से ही सिद्धि प्राप्त हुई।
so he means that when he says that Janaka, such a Jnani like Janaka, he achieved perfection just by karma, it means that Karma Yoga is superior. In the upcoming verses, Bhagavan will speak.
स्वयं वो कहते हैं,
Bhagavan himself will say that compared to Karma Sannyas, Karma Yoga is superior. That's why Sri Ramanujacharya says that here the meaning of Eva is that Karma Yoga is superior to Jnana Yoga. Because the person who will perform karma, he will feed himself as well as others. But Jnani will depend on others only. So Jnana Yoga is also a path, but this Sri Ramanujacharya's opinion is that here Karma Yoga is superior to Jnana Yoga. And another point is that, like we had discussed earlier about Varnashram, sannyas is just for Brahmanas. So what will other people do? So that's why he is telling that you will achieve perfection by karma only. And he also uses the word he. So here he means that he is trying to lay emphasis on this point. So when a person like Janaka is achieving perfection just by karma, then Arjun should definitely perform karma, because Arjun is at least not a jnani like Janaka. So if when Janaka, who is such a great jnani, and jnanis like Yagyavalkya also, went to his kingdom to conduct Shastrartha. You might have heard of Ashtavakra Gita. That was also recited to Janaka only.
अर्जुन को तो इसलिए कर्मयोग करना
So
ही चाहिए,
Arjun must perform
और
Karma
इससे
Yoga.
बाकी जो मानव समाज है उसके
So
लिए भी
that
संकेत दिया जा रहा है कि
the general human society, this message is through Arjun, the message is being given to the general human society also, that everyone should perform,
का माने
they should perform karma.
जन का दे। और जो दूसरा है
The other point is,
वो समझना है कि जो कर्म है, ये कर्म का मतलब यहाँ निष्काम कर्म से है।
here karma means Nishkam karma. That is what we have to keep in mind, because somebody may say that there is Sakam karma also.
हमारा प्रकृति
So
चल रहा है,
the context here,
भगवान ने कहा कि आसक्ति रहित होकर कर्म करना है।
in the previous verse, Bhagavan had said that we should perform karma with detachment. So in this verse also, karma refers to Nishkam karma only.
जो पहले श्लोक में कहा
And here the word Samsiddhi, what is Samsiddhi? What is the perfection?
परम माने परमात्मा, भगवान को प्राप्त कर ले।
Here perfection refers to achieving Bhagavan.
कोई भी आप
So although karma is temporary, karma is not indestructible,
अविनाशी है,
but Paramatma is Avinashi, is indestructible. So from karma, how will you achieve Paramatma? Because karma is temporary, not eternal, but Paramatma is eternal.
ये प्रश्न उठेगा ना मन में। तो वो इसलिए है कि जो कर्म होता है उसके 4 फल होते हैं।
So that is because karma has
उपाद्य,
4 results.
कार्य, संस्कार्य और प्राप्य। आप कर्म से कोई नई चीज बना सकते हैं।
With karma, you can create something new, that is Utpadya. Like you cook halwa. So halwa did not exist earlier. Now there is halwa. So this is Utpadya. Then second is Vikarya. Vikarya means something is already existing, but you just do a transformation, like you convert milk into curd. Or Samskarya. Samskarya means some object is there and you enhance its quality. Like halwa, there is halwa and you put some kesar in that, saffron, so it becomes, its smell improves. So that is Samskarya. And the fourth is Prapya. Like let's say you from your home you come to Vrindavan, so you are not creating Vrindavan is already existing,
इसलिए उनको प्राप्त करना,
so you are just attaining Vrindavan.
प्राप्त करते हैं, भगवान तो नित्य हैं।
So from by karma we can attain Bhagavan is eternal. And here attaining doesn't mean that you have to walk somewhere or go by a car to attain him. He is already there in your heart,
हमारा जो अज्ञान है,
but
हमारे जो
our
लोभ हैं,
ignorance, the obstacles in our chitta
करने देना चाह रहे हैं,
which are preventing us from
जैसे
realizing
हमारी आँख
Bhagavan.
कुछ
Like
रोग हो जाए तो हम देख
if
नहीं
there
सकते,
is some disease in your eye,
उसको दूर करना
then you cannot see properly.
पहले से ही है।
So the disease
भगवान तो
has to be removed. So Bhagavan is
सबके हृदय में बैठे हुए हैं,
omnipresent.
वो प्राप्त
He is everywhere. He is sitting in our heart also.
आवृत हैं, ढके हुए हैं।
So he is already there, but we are just covered by his Maya. So if that covering can be, that covering will be removed if we act with detachment for the pleasure of Bhagavan, offer the karma to him,
प्राप्ति में और कोई
then our attachment will go away. Because there is no other obstacle to attaining Bhagavan except our desires for enjoying.
नहीं तो वो तो सबसे निकट है।
That's why he is so far from us. Otherwise, he is actually the closest to us. Nobody is as close to us as Bhagavan. That's why it is possible to attain Bhagavan by karma. But how karma should be performed? It should be performed the way he is teaching. Otherwise, everyone is performing karma all the time.
उपलब्ध है,
So Bhagavan Vasudev is everywhere.
प्राप्त नहीं हो सकते हैं।
So it is not that he cannot be attained, achieved by karma. Now here there is a word Lok Sangraha.
समझना आवश्यक है।
It is important to understand this. especially
आज के समय में।
in today's context.
तो लोक संग्रह का मतलब होता है लोगों को एकत्रित करना। वास्तव में
Loka Sangraha actually means to collect people together.
एकत्रित करने का मतलब यहाँ पर है कि उनको धर्म में लगाना।
So here collecting them together actually means engaging them in dharma.
ऐसा कार्य करें कि हमारे
We act in such a way that by seeing us, our activity, others also become influenced and they follow dharma.
विहित कर्म है उसको करना।
So the karma which should be done, which is prescribed, the prescribed karma,
स्थित रहें,
people remain situated
आगामी ना हो,
in their own position
यानी कि
and they do not deviate.
है उसको ना करें।
Not deviating means
ऐसा हमारा
not
आचरण हो,
not performing prohibited karma.
उससे
If
लोगों
our
पर बहुत प्रभाव पड़ता
character can be like this, if we can have this type of character that we do not perform prohibited karma, then people will be influenced. Here Loka Sangraha does not mean that we make lot of followers. Some people explain like this also. Lok Sangraha means make a crowd, act or behave in such a way that people become your followers. No, Bhagavan is not speaking about that. His point is that by seeing your character, others will also be inspired to follow dharma. Because Arjun is a person of very high status. So the way he will act, others will also be affected by that.
लोक संग्रह के लिए भी कार्य करना चाहिए।
So Bhagavan is telling that you should perform karma to inspire other people to perform dharma.
जिनको कर्म करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है, जैसे भगवान
Because there are some people who do not need to perform karma. Like Bhagavan told earlier,
यह क्वेश्चन है कि जो व्यक्ति
the
सिद्ध हो गया
person
है,
who has become perfect,
जीवन मुक्त हो गया है,
who is a Jivan Mukta, liberated while being in this body itself, that person does not
लेकिन
is not bound by any vidhi nishad, any prescriptions or prohibitions. But the way he will act will impact, it will influence others also. So it's a great responsibility on him. He should not perform karma in such a way, or he should not perform that type of karma that will confuse people, that will bewilder them.
यानी कि ऐसा कार्य
This
करें
is called Loka Sangraha,
लोग
meaning
सही
you
मार्ग
behave, you act in such a way
उनको
that
सही
people walk on the right path of dharma, they get the right education. So for that reason also Arjun should perform karma, because Arjun was a famous warrior, and if he gives up his karma, his duty, then others will also give up their duties. They will also say that why do I need to perform my duty when such a great warrior like Arjun
इसलिए भगवान ये एक तर्क दे
is
रहे हैं,
acting like
तर्क
this.
है कर्म करने का।
So this is also a very important reason for performing karma. So those who are leaders in the society,
मान्यता प्राप्त है,
or who occupy
चाहे वो राजनेता हो
important posts
या गुरु
like
हो,
teacher
आचार्य
or
हो,
politician,
तो उनके ऊपर ये बहुत बड़ा उत्तरदायित्व रहता
so
है
it's a great responsibility on them
ऐसा काम ना
that
करें
they
जिससे
do not act in a way
प्रभाव पड़े।
that
हालांकि उनके ऊपर चाहे उसका कोई
creates a negative samskara in people.
समाज पर उसका असर आता है, तो
Although they
उसको
themselves may not be influenced by such action, but others, the general crowd does get influenced. So this is the point that in the next verse, Bhagavan is explaining this in more detail.
यहाँ पे कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया है इसका 20। तो यदि यदाचरति श्रेष्ठ तत्तदेवितरो जनः स यत् प्रमाणम कुरुते लोकस्तदनु वर्तते। तो भगवान कहते हैं कि श्रेष्ठ व्यक्ति
Translation:
जैसा आचरण करता है, श्रेष्ठ व्यक्ति जो भी कार्य करता है, सामान्य जन उसका अनुकरण करते हैं।
whatever action a great person performs, the general populace emulates. Whatever standard such an eminent person sets, common people follow.
आचरण की बात है,
So here the main point is about acharan.
तो ये महत्वपूर्ण शब्द है इस श्लोक का।
This is
क्योंकि
the
हमारा अपना
important
नेचर
word in
दूसरों
this verse
के ऊपर प्रभाव
because
डालता है। वो
our
हर एक व्यक्ति का आचरण
behavior,
किसी न किसी
our
दूसरे के ऊपर
acharan
प्रभाव डालता ही
influences
है।
others. Actually,
लेकिन जो
every
शास्त्रों
action influences somebody or the other. But
मान्यता प्राप्त है, जिनको सम्मान मिला
especially
है,
the important
शिक्षण
people in
दिया
the
जाता
sense
है
they are
जिनको
occupying
वेद में
important posts in the
उनके
society,
आचरण का बहुत बड़ा प्रभाव
their
होता है।
behavior, their actions have great
इसलिए
impact in the society.
मनु महाराज
That is
कहते हैं
why
मनुस्मृति में कि
in
यथा स्मृति
Manusmriti,
सदाचार
Manusji says,
स्वस्य प्रिय आत्मनः एतत् चतुर्विधम प्राहु साक्षात धर्मस्य लक्षणम। जब वो कहते हैं कि धर्म क्या है, इसको
when
कहाँ से समझा जाता है, तो
he
उन्होंने
is
एक
explaining that
बहुत
what is dharma, how do I understand dharma.
एक
So
वेद है,
Manuji says that there are
एक
four
स्मृति है
sources for understanding dharma: Ved,
और
Smriti,
एक आचरण
and the third is
सदाचार।
Acharan, Sadachar.
तो आचरण के ऊपर वो बहुत बल देते हैं
So he places lot of emphasis on
और वो
Acharan,
समझाते हैं कैसे
on
आचरण
behavior.
से असर पड़ता है।
He explains
एक
how
व्यक्ति को ऐसा
Acharan or
आचरण
behavior
करना चाहिए
influences others. So a
जिससे
person should
किसी
not
की
act in
संतुष्टि नहीं
such
होती।
a way
कई
which
बार
does
हमें
not
ये समझ में नहीं
satisfy
आता है कि कौन सा
himself
करना
only.
ठीक है, कौन सा गलत है।
Often we do not
तो
understand
इसलिए
what we should do, what we should not do.
कहते हैं यत् कर्म
So he
कुरुष्व
Manuji gives
स्यात्
uh,
संतोषो अंतरात्मन तत्प्रयत्वेन कुर्वीत विपरीतम तु वर्जयेत। वो कहते हैं कि
so
जिसको
Manuji gives
करना
a
चाहिए,
method to understand how to
जो
decide.
आपके मन में वो करना
He
चाहिए, और
says
जिसको
that
आप समझते हैं कि
do
नहीं
that which satisfies
वो
you,
मत करना
and
चाहिए,
what
क्योंकि तब आप अपनी
and
बुद्धि अपने
that
विवेक को
which
आदर
tells
करते हैं।
you that this is not
और
right,
अगर आप
you
अपनी
should not do that,
बुद्धि विवेक
because
को
then you are
आदर नहीं करेंगे
disrespecting your
तो
intelligence.
आप
If you do not
पतन
respect
होंगे।
your own intelligence, then you will fall down.
तो इसलिए जो चार उन्होंने
That is why
स्रोत बताए धर्म के,
the
उसमें
four sources that
सबसे
Manuji
जरूरी आता है
explained,
जो आपको प्रिय लगता है।
that do that
धर्म
action
की जो
which
बात
is
कर रहे हैं यहाँ
priya
पर,
to you.
ये भक्ति योग का प्रकरण नहीं है, तो उसको भी
He is
करना चाहिए।
explained talking about karma yoga,
लेकिन
not
क्या
bhakti
होता है कि
yoga.
लोग कर्म के बारे में
So this should be understood.
ये सोचते हैं कि एक
Otherwise,
छोटा काम है,
people
इसको मैं
think
नहीं करूंगा,
this is
कोई
a
दूसरा कर रहा है, कोई बड़ा कर रहा है,
inferior act.
उसको हम बड़ा
I will not
मानते
do
हैं, वो
that.
कर रहा है वही मेरे को करना चाहिए।
I will do only
ये
that what the
समाज में
great person is
समस्या
doing.
है।
This is also a problem in
तो
the society.
अब ये जो हमारा जो वर्णाश्रम धर्म यहाँ था भारत में,
The
तो
Varnashram
उसके
Dharma, which
विपरीत
was existing
विदेशी
earlier,
लोगों को ये
people
लोग
say
कहते
in
हैं कि
opposition to Varnashram Dharma
ऐसा चल रहा है,
that Brahmana is simply giving lecture and
इसलिए
Shudra
ये
is
क्यों नहीं करना
working
चाहिए,
hard.
या
Why
इसको
will
छोड़
Shudra
करके
not give
यहाँ पर
class, not give lecture?
लाया गया।
And women were being
तो
oppressed
ये
in their society.
वास्तव में ये व्यक्ति समझते नहीं है
So these
कि
people
ये
who
कोई छोटा बड़ा
who
नहीं
give
है,
such make such accusations, they don't
केवल
understand
उद्देश्य
that karma is not small, inferior or superior.
अगर आपका
Inferior or
उद्देश्य
superior
बड़ा
is
है,
your goal. If your goal
कोई
is
का भी
great,
कर्म हो
that then
और उससे
no
आप
matter
समझते हैं अच्छा,
how
तो वही करना चाहिए।
insignificant that karma is, if the karma is
और अगर
helping
आपका
you to
उद्देश्य
achieve
बड़ा
your
है लेकिन
goal, your
आपको
great
उससे
goal,
लेना नहीं है,
then that karma is also great. But if your
तो
goal
इसलिए
is not
आपको
great,
अपने
no
उद्देश्य को
matter how
स्पष्ट करना
great
चाहिए
karma
कि
you are
मुझे
doing
क्या
to
करना है।
achieve your goal, there is no use of that. So
और
actually, so the
उद्देश्य
main point
हमारा
is we have to remain focused on our
और
goal.
उसके लिए जो
So
भी
if
करना
our
है
goal is
अपनी
to
योग्यता के
achieve
अनुसार करना
Bhagavan,
है,
to attain Bhagavan,
क्योंकि
then
सबकी
whatever
योग्यता
action
अलग
you
अलग होती
do
है।
to attain Bhagavan, that action is great
और
because every person
ये
has
जो व्यवस्था
different
बनाई गई है,
capabilities,
ये व्यवस्था
and
बनाई गई
the
है
system that has been created, the system
विचारों
of
के हिसाब से।
Varnashram Dharma, that system has been
इसलिए
created
आज भी
by
ये समस्या है
division of
कि हर
adhikar.
एक व्यक्ति की अपनी अपनी योग्यता है और
Every
जो
person
अपनी
has
योग्यता है
different
वो समझते हैं कि वही
capabilities.
बड़ा है,
So if you
और
act
उसी से
according to
करना है,
your
उसी को करना है।
capability, that action is great
अब ये जो
because
इक्वलिटी
that
है,
is helping you
सबका
to achieve
अधिकार
your
है,
goal. Nowadays, people
ये
are
समझते नहीं
propagating
है
equal rights.
कि
Everyone
जो
should have
है
the same
सोचते हैं कि
adhikar.
मैं भी
Then
इसको
every
करूं,
person thinks that why can I also not
इसकी
do
योग्यता नहीं
this,
होगी तो
what the
मैं
other
कैसे
one is
करूंगा।
doing? But if he does not possess the
कंपटीशन जो
qualification to
है
perform that activity,
कि
he'll be get into
स्त्रियों
trouble.
को मुक्त करो, वुमेन
So
लिबरेशन,
nowadays, this competition is
तो
there
अधिकार है
to
सबके पास
liberate
अधिकार
women.
प्राप्त करने
No,
का,
everybody has the
जिसके अंदर
adhikar,
जिसकी योग्यता नहीं
the
है
qual
उसको
to
तुम जबरदस्ती उसमें लगाओगे और फिर
to achieve
उसको
Bhagavan.
एक गौरव अनुभव करोगे
But if you
कि अगर अब स्त्री भी पुरुष का काम कर रही
forcefully
है
forcefully
तो
engage
उसको
women
और
also
स्त्री मुक्त हो
in
जाएगी।
performing the acts that men are doing, then does the women
देखो
become
ये
liberated by doing that? How would you
तो
call
अभी
that
ये
as
जो ये
liberation?
सोच रही अगर स्त्री पुरुष जैसे कपड़े पहने,
if women start wearing dresses like men, will they become equal to men?
उसकी अपनी योग्यता है, स्त्री की अपनी योग्यता
Men
है,
have their own capabilities, women have their own capabilities. If
तो हम लोग
both
उसी स्तर पे
perform,
पहुंचेंगे।
act according to their
जो आध्यात्मिक
capability, then they can
संस्थान है,
achieve the goal.
एक
Nowadays, in the
संवाद,
spiritual
विवाद,
institutions, there is a
होता
great
है कि स्त्री
debate
को भी
going
संन्यास लेना
on
चाहिए, स्त्री को भी
that
संन्यास लेना
female
चाहिए,
should also become
पुरुष को भी
guru, female should also take sannyas.
लेकिन
So do
इसलिए हम
that.
लोग
I am not
संन्यास
opposing that. They do it, but
स्त्री
don't
को
do it
संन्यास इसलिए
just
नहीं लेना
because
चाहिए
men
क्योंकि
are
जब
also doing
पुरुष
it.
संन्यास लेता है,
Women should
जब
not take
स्त्री
sannyas just
पुरुष को
because the man
संन्यास
is
लेता
also
है,
taking sannyas.
और ये तर्क
If a
करते
woman
हैं
is taking sannyas just by this logic, that if a man is
गलत
doing,
है,
then why can I not do? That logic,
इसका
that
मतलब वो
mentality is wrong.
पहले
That means, that simply means that she is already considering
उसके
herself
अंदर
inferior to the
भेदभाव
man.
है,
She already has that
तभी वो
feeling
ये
of
बोल रही है।
inferiority. That's why she is speaking like this.
पुरुष को भी कहना चाहिए कि मैं
Otherwise,
संन्यास लूं,
the
स्त्री को भी
man should also be saying
उनको भी नहीं लेना
that
चाहिए,
since women are not taking sannyas, we will also not take
ऐसा नहीं है।
sannyas. They are not telling like that.
पुरुष तो स्कर्ट नहीं पहनता है,
Men are not wearing skirts.
लिपस्टिक नहीं लगाता, आजकल कुछ लगाते हो, लेकिन
Men don't apply lipstick. Maybe some people,
तो
some men do that
जब वो
nowadays,
सोचने लगेगा
but
कि वो भी
generally
लगाएगा
no.
तो वो भी
But the
संन्यास
day
लेगा,
the men also start thinking like this, that
तो जो दूसरे की नकल
then they will
करेगा
also start applying lipstick. So if you are
उसको
simply
वो
imitating
अपने को
others,
श्रेष्ठ समझ रहा है,
that means when you imitate somebody, then you are also
ऐसा नहीं
already
होना चाहिए।
considering yourself inferior to the other person. So I am not
इसलिए अगर वो
opposing
ले
this
तो
idea
लेना
of
चाहिए,
woman taking sannyas or
इसका
becoming
मतलब इसका
guru.
ये नहीं होना
If
चाहिए
she
कि पुरुष
has
चलाएंगे
the
मैं भी चलाऊं,
qualification,
मैं भी
she
बाइक
should do
चलाऊं,
that.
पुरुष ट्रक
But
चलाते हैं तो
it
मैं भी ट्रक
should
चलाऊं,
not be done just because men are doing that.
सेना में
If
जाते
men
हैं तो
are
पुलिस लाइसेंस
driving
बनवाऊं,
trucks, I will also drive truck. If men are joining the army, I will also join the army. So this
इसका मतलब
logic
वो
is not correct.
कर्म को छोटा समझ रही
That
है, अपने
means
कर्म
she
को
is already considering
उसको
her karma to
संन्यास
be
लेना चाहिए,
inferior and the karma of the
क्योंकि
man to be
कर्म तो कोई
superior.
रोकता ही नहीं है,
But actually,
भगवान
karma
रोकता
is not inferior or superior. Bhagwan is
है,
driving
हाथ हाँक रहा है,
Arjuna's
खड़ा क्यों नहीं
chariot.
होता है,
So,
आज मैं तो
is
बहुत बड़ा हूँ,
driving some superior karma in the society? Driving is not considered some great
एक
karma.
भक्त के
But
लिए सब
what is Bhagwan's goal? His goal is
भगवान जो भी
to do
करेगा
seva for
वो
his
उसके लिए अच्छा
devotee.
हो जाएगा,
So that's why
क्योंकि वो स्वयं बड़े हैं,
whatever he will do, it will be
लेकिन अगर
great.
स्वयं
Why?
ऐसे
Because he himself is great.
तो जो
So
भी
if
करेगा
when a
वो
person
अच्छा
is
हो जाएगा।
situated in himself or herself, whatever he or she does
तो इसलिए हमें
is great only.
अपने मन से निकाल देना चाहिए
So we should get rid of this
जो
mentality.
व्यक्ति आध्यात्मिक मार्ग में आया है,
The person who
उससे
has come
कहिए
on the spiritual path,
कि कृपया
we should ask
बताइए कि
that
आप
person,
आध्यात्मिक मार्ग में किस लिए आए हैं, तो
why
हम
have
भगवत
you
प्राप्त करने, भगवत प्राप्ति करने के लिए आए हैं।
taken to
तो
spirituality?
जब
So
आप
he may
उसको
say that I want to
बोलेंगे
get
कि मेरा ये
bhakti.
योग्यता कि मेरे को सन्यासी बनना है,
So we should ask him, when you came to
मेरे को
this
गुरु
path,
बनना है इसलिए
did
आए हैं,
you come here to
और ये
become a
सवाल सिर्फ औरतों के
sannyasi
लिए है,
or to become a guru?
पुरुष भी
And
लड़के
this
हैं,
question is
लड़के भी लड़के
applicable
हैं,
on men and women both, because even men are fighting among themselves that why can I not take sannyas?
तो
Why
सन्यासी
can
बनना
I
है,
not become guru? So the question is
तो
that
जिस
did you
लिए आए थे
take to
जिस उद्देश्य के
spirituality
साथ
to
आए थे
become a sannyasi or a
उस
guru?
उद्देश्य के द्वारा
Whatever goal you had,
वो भी
you
ऐसा
just
है कि मुझे
continue
आचार्य बनना है
performing
या
your
सन्यासी बनना
duty
है तो लीजिए,
in that to
लेकिन अगर
attain
आपका
that
मूल
goal, and
उद्देश्य
in the
वही है
performance of that duty, if you have to become a guru or sannyasi or acharya, then do that.
उनको
But
ध्यान
if
दीजिए,
becoming a guru or the leader of
तो फिर
some
आप
temple or matha,
सही
if that itself becomes your
मार्ग
goal,
से भटक गए,
then you have deviated from your
तो
goal.
वास्तव में वो आपका पतन है, सही मायने
So that is your real fall down.
तो इसलिए श्रेष्ठ पुरुष को ये ध्यान में रखना है कि मैं ऐसा
That's
कार्य
why
ना करूं,
a great a
लेकिन जब
person
कुछ
in a
इधर
great
उधर
important
गलत
position
भावनाएं
should
आए तो वही
understand
करना है,
this
ये
principle and
कहेंगे
not
कि
act
आए
in
थे
the wrong way,
हम
because then the common public will also
कोई
start
आदमी
thinking
सेवा
like that.
करना चाहते हैं लेकिन हमारे अंदर उसकी योग्यता नहीं है या वो निषिद्ध है, हमको नहीं करना
Because
चाहिए,
generally what happens is
लेकिन कोई महान पुरुष अगर उसको करता है तो फिर हम उसका उदाहरण देते हैं कि देखो वो भी तो कर रहा है तो मैं
when
क्यों
we
नहीं
want to
करूंगा।
do something but we do not have the qualification to do
इसलिए
that,
जो
we take the example of some other
जो
great
जो
person who
करता
is
है
doing the
उसके
same
ऊपर उसका
thing,
कोई प्रभाव नहीं
and
पड़ता,
we say if he is doing that, why can I
उसको जो
not do
प्राप्त
that?
करना था वो प्राप्त कर लिया, वो विधि
So
में
if
कोई
the great
संवाद
person is doing that,
हो सकता
who
है
is
ऐसा व्यक्ति,
who may be beyond the prescriptions and prohibitions, he may not be influenced or affected by doing that, but the common public get influenced by doing that. That's why people in great positions who are beyond prescriptions and prohibitions, they should behave responsibly. When I was in ISKCON, that time chocolate, coke, etc., they were prohibited. But one day I saw a devotee, he was drinking 7 Up. So I asked, why are you drinking 7 Up? So he said that Prabhupada drank 7 Up. So once it happened that Srila Prabhupada was in the plane and he took one 7 Up. Maybe he might have taken just to see what is this 7 Up, what is its taste. I mean, had no attachment to 7 Up or anything. So that story spread in the entire institution. Prabhupada has taken 7 Up, so we can also take 7 Up. So they started saying that Coke is not allowed, 7 Up is allowed. Because why? Because Prabhupada had taken. So we can also take. So that is why Bhagavan is telling here that whatever a great man performs, others also copy that. That's why a great person has to be very careful in his behavior. He has much greater responsibility compared to others. Everybody watches a great man, what he is doing. And if you are doing something that an ordinary person should not do, then you should remember that if I do this, the ordinary person will also start saying that if the great person is doing this, why can I not do that? People will start giving this logic. For some good activity, people do not say that he is doing so much bhakti, so much seva, so I also do. No. But if that great person is doing something which is prohibited for the common public, for that the common person immediately makes the logic that because he is doing, I will also do. Because he already has the inclination to do that prohibited action, but he is not getting support from anywhere. So when he sees that some great person is doing that, then he gets the support and he starts copying that action. So you'll see that in society we always hear that we should speak the truth. In any religion, nobody says that nobody says that we should speak lie. Everybody says that we should be truthful. We should not be deceitful. We should not cheat. We should help others. We should not envy others. These kinds of instructions are heard everywhere. In no religious book will you hear that we should speak lie or we should kill others or we should plunder somebody's wealth. But still, so many people in the society are doing this. Even people in the spiritual path also do all these prohibited actions. Why? Nobody taught this. So if nobody taught this, then why are people behaving like this? What is being taught? What is being taught? What is being instructed? That has very less influence. But what is not being taught, in fact, what is being prohibited, like do not speak lie, don't exploit others, but still people are doing these prohibited actions so rampantly. What is the reason? Reason is one only, that people who are at the top posts, maybe a little bit superior to us, they are working like this, speaking lie. Then immediately we get this idea, we start copying this. There is a child in the family, the father does not want to talk, and he tells the child that please tell that I am not at home. And the father says to the child that you should not speak a lie, and then he is telling the child that please tell that I am not at home. So which will have more impact, speaking or behaving? behavior has more influence. Words do not have so much influence.
स्वामी श्री राम सुखदास जी एक बहुत बढ़िया
Swami
उदाहरण
Shri Ram Sukdas
मुझे
ji
बहुत अच्छा
gives
लगा। वो
a
कहते हैं
great
कि जो
example.
प्रवचन
He
करता है
says, those who only give lectures but do
वो
not
इस
do
तरह
not
है जैसे
behave
एक
properly,
खिलौना
they
बंदूक
are
होती है, टॉय गन।
like a toy gun.
तो जो टॉय गन या खिलौना बंदूक है उसको अगर आप चलाओगे तो
If
आवाज करती
you
है, मारती नहीं है।
the toy gun makes sound, but actually it cannot hit any
उसकी जो
bullet.
नोक होती है
But the real
उसको जब
gun,
आप चलाओगे वो आवाज भी करती है,
real
मारती
gun
नहीं है।
will make sound also and it will kill also. But
तो
toy
इसी
gun only
तरह
makes sound, it cannot kill.
प्रवचन करता है और
So
आचरण
those who
करता
only
है
give lecture, those who give
वो
lectures and behave
आवाज
also
करती है,
appropriately, they have
लेकिन जो केवल
more
प्रवचन करता है
influence. Those who only
आचरण
give
नहीं करता,
lectures but do not
जो
behave
प्रचार और
properly,
आचार,
those who only do prachar
प्रचार धातु से ही है ना,
but do not no achar,
दोनों
both the
आवश्यक
words
है
are from char
और
dhatu.
आचरण
Both are
करना भी है।
important and acharan is more
क्योंकि
important
आम व्यक्ति जो है उसको आपका उपदेश समझ आए ना आए,
because the common public,
आप पढ़े हो
whether
लिखे
he
हो ना हो,
understands your
आचरण धातु
instruction,
से ही है।
understands the shastras or no, but
इसलिए
he will
कोई भी
observe your acharan,
अगर
your
उदाहरण
behavior.
दिया
Why did Bhagavan
तो
give
क्या
the
कोई
example
सोचेगा
of
ऐसे
Janaka?
कैसे सिद्धि हो जाएगी, तो भगवान ने
Because
कर्म करके
Arjun
दिखाया।
started thinking, how can I achieve perfection by
तो
karma?
हमारे दिमाग
So
में एक
Bhagavan
विचार
said,
आता है कि अच्छा
take
जनक
the
महाराज
example of
ऐसे किया
Janaka.
करते थे,
So then
तो
this
हमको
becomes
ऐसा
ingrained in
करना
our
चाहिए,
mind
हमको
that
ऐसा
okay,
करना
Janak
चाहिए।
Maharaj was like this, so I should
तो
behave
इसलिए ये
like
उदाहरण
I should act like
आवश्यक
Janak
है।
Maharaj. That is why
इसके
example
लिए
is
भगवान ने
important in
कृष्ण को
society.
कहीं बहुत ही
That is why
विशेष
Bhagavan
रूप
is
दिया,
telling
यथा
this
भूतो
verse.
भविष्यथा तत्तदेव वितरो जन। तो इसलिए कोई भी जो
So
विशेष तौर
that
से
is
जो
why
आध्यात्मिक मार्ग पर हैं
especially
उनको इस
people
बात
on
का
the
ध्यान
spiritual
रखना है
path, they
कि
should
ये
be
जो
very
नए लोग आते
careful
हैं
of this point.
समाज से,
People come to the spiritual
हालांकि
path
हमारे
from the
जो
ordinary society
हम
only,
देखते हैं हमारे
and
समाज
when
में,
they
वो
say
तो केवल कहते
defects,
हैं
when
कि
they see
साधु
defects in the sadhus, defects in the
सत्संग करो,
devotees, then say,
मान लो
what is the use of all these sadhus?
गृहस्थी लोग
We are
होते हैं
better than
उनके
these
संबंध में
sadhus.
कुछ अगर देखते हैं कि
Because
कुछ
I have
ऐसा
heard
हो
this
रहा
so
है,
many
कुछ
times.
ऐसा हो रहा है,
Grihasthas, they come
तो
and
फिर
they
ऐसे
see devotees fighting among each
संस्कृत
other,
में
and then say, what is the use
बात
of all
चलती
this
है
devotee and sadhu?
और हम क्या
We are
सोचते
far
हैं
better
कि
than these people. Did we come to
तो
this temple
आचरण
or
का बहुत
matha
महत्व
to
है।
see all this? So, Acharan has great
इसलिए
importance.
आचार्य शब्द जो हमारे यहाँ संस्कृत में है वो उसी से,
That is why in
आचार्य शब्द
Sanskrit we have this word
चर धातु से ही बना है,
Acharya. The word Acharya comes
शास्त्र
from
अर्थ
Char
है
Dhatu.
आचार्य स्थाप्यत्यपि स्वयं आचरते चैव तेन आचार्य कीर्तितः। आचार्य किसको कहते हैं? जो शास्त्र के जो अर्थ हैं उनका व्याख्यान करता है,
So Acharya means one who
उनको अपने आचरण
explains
में
the artha
उतारता है, स्वयं
of
भी आचरण
Shastra
करता है
and also
और
imbibes that
शिष्य
behavior in his own
शिष्य से
life
भी आचरण करवाता है।
and teaches, engages the
आचार्य
students also
स्थाप्यति,
to behave accordingly,
तो इसलिए
according to Shastra. So such a person is called
ये
Acharya.
केवल ऐसे ही नहीं कि टाइटल ले लिया, बहुत लोगों ने
Acharya is not just a title
तो
because many
इसको
people gave
गुरु
vote
बोलते हैं
to
आचार्य।
become that you become guru, so he becomes
इसलिए
guru.
भगवान ने जो पिछले श्लोक में कहा था लोक संग्रह में वापि संपश्यन कर्तुम यह अर्हसि, उसी का संबंध इस श्लोक से
So in
है।
the previous verse, when Bhagavan
लोक
spoke of
संग्रह
Loka
कैसे होगा?
Sangraha, this verse is
वो
connected with
होता
that
है
Loka
आचरण से।
Sangraha. So how will Loka Sangraha happen?
मनुष्य की एक प्रकृति
It
है
will happen by acharan, by our practical
लोगों को
behavior.
दूसरे की नकल करना,
So human being has a tendency of
और विशेष तौर
imitating
से बच्चे
others.
जो छोटे बच्चे होते हैं
Especially
उनको देखा होगा वो
children,
माँ बाप की
you
नकल
might have
करते हैं।
seen, they start imitating the
आप देखते हैं
parents.
मंदिर में
Often I see
कोई
that in temple
आते हैं पति पत्नी, उनका छोटा बच्चा है,
a
वो
couple
अपना
comes and they have a
फोटो
small
लेके प्रणाम
child.
करता
If
है,
they pay obeisances, the child also pays
बताता नहीं क्या
obeisances.
है प्रणाम
Now the
करना,
child
लेकिन
doesn't
वो देखता है
understand
लोग
what
करते हैं
is
तो वो भी
the
करता
meaning of paying obeisances, but he's just imitating
है।
the
तो ये एक
parents.
स्वभाव है मनुष्य का,
So this is human
दूसरों की
tendency
नकल करना,
to imitate
और
others,
ये अनुकरण करना,
and
नकल करना, ये
imitating,
बच्चे का
following
स्वभाव
others.
नहीं है।
This is not just a child's
बच्चे हम
tendency.
ज्यादा देखते हैं लेकिन
We
एक्चुअली
may
वो
see
बच्चा
that more in a child,
तब भी
but when a
अनुकरण
child
करता है।
grows up, then also he is actually copying
ऐसे
others
बहुत सारे
only.
लोग हैं
There are very
जो
rare people in the society who are independently thoughtful. They think before acting. Most of the people in society are simply imitating others. Nowadays, there is this fashion of having tattoo.
हर एक आदमी देखो पूरा
So
उसका
you see, every person, so many people,
हर
they are having tattoos all over
कोई
their
बाहर से
body.
आया उसने किसी को देखा
So how
कि
did he
ऐसे
do? Why did he do this? He just saw somebody
तो
and
एक प्रकार का हेयर स्टाइल होता है
make this tattoo.
अब दूसरे प्रकार
So in
का
my
देखो
childhood, I saw different type of
समाज में तो
hairstyle. Now there is different hairstyle. So I see everybody having the
ये
same
कपड़े हैं
hairstyle.
ड्रेस हैं
People imitate
ये
others
जो
dressing.
व्यक्ति पहनते हैं या करते हैं
So whatever
उसकी
people are wearing or whatever they
वो वास्तव में
do,
उनकी इच्छा नहीं
whatever
है
their desires, it is not
वो
actually their
देखते
own
हैं उनको
desire.
करते हुए
They see
शायद
others
उसको
doing
टेलीविजन
that.
पर देखें किसी फिल्म में देखें
They
या
see
किसी
on
एडवर्टाइजमेंट
television
में
or in some film, on some
या
advertisement,
किसी अपने सहयोगी
or
मित्र या जिनको वो श्रेष्ठ बोलते हैं जिनका फैन है
or
वो
some friend, or maybe they are fan of some celebrity.
कोई श्रेष्ठ पुरुष क्योंकि आजकल के श्रेष्ठ पुरुष किनको बोलते हैं जो फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में है या जो
So
स्पोर्ट्स में है
nowadays, generally,
या
who are great people?
श्रेष्ठ
Great people nowadays
जो
means like some
ऐसा
film celebrity or some big
ज्ञान
sports
देता है
person
शास्त्र तो उसको
or
बोलते हैं
great
कि जो स्पोर्ट्स में है या कोई
musician.
फिल्म इंडस्ट्री तो इनको
Generally,
श्रेष्ठ माना
sports,
जाता है
films, and music. Nowadays,
तो यही
people in
परिस्थिति
thीस
ये है
three fields are considered
तो
very
जिन लोगों
great.
में वास्तव में इस
So
प्रकार
this
की
is a great
मानसिकता है
misfortune because they, in their
उनमें
character, in
ईर्ष्या
their
और
life, we do
मत्सरता
not
आ
see
सकती है
any superiority, any
तो
greatness.
श्रेष्ठ नहीं हो सकते
Because one who is
और
attached to matter,
इस
according to our
शब्द का यहाँ
Shastra,
भगवान
he
प्रयोग
cannot
करते
be
हैं
considered Sreshta
वो
or great.
श्रेष्ठ इस प्रकार का नहीं हो
Here,
सकता
the
जैसा श्रेष्ठ आजकल के
Bhagavan is
समाज में
using the word Sreshta. That Sreshta is
जो
not
श्रेष्ठ
the
है
Sreshta
जड़
what
में
is
आसक्ति नहीं
considered in
रखता
today's society.
अनासक्तस्य
In Shastra,
जो
Shrestha
अनासक्ति नहीं
means
रखता
one who is detached,
तो
one who is not
ऐसे
attached
व्यक्ति
to
को
matter.
लोग श्रेष्ठ मानते हैं
So
जिनकी ज्ञान
nowadays, the
बुद्धि
people consider the people Shrestha.
उनमें क्या
They
ये
are
गुण जाएगा
fans of such people.
आसक्ति ही
Do they have such
क्या
qualities?
उनमें आसक्ति नहीं है अपने कर्म के और फल के प्रति
They are
वो
not
क्या
attached to their karma, to the result. They have immense attachment.
थोड़ा सा उनको अपना
Those people
लगता है
whom
कि
the
हम और
society
कुछ
considers
श्रेष्ठ हो
very
सकते
great,
हैं
they have so much attachment.
तो अब अगर
But
समाज उनको
even
श्रेष्ठ
if they do not achieve the result
समझ सकता है तो
according
समाज
to
कैसे
whatever they
बदलेगा
wanted, they become disturbed. So if society considers such attached people
यही
as very great,
आजकल का
then what will be the condition of such a
समाज
society?
है
So this is our
जो
modern
श्रेष्ठ
society.
पुरुषों के राजनेता हैं तो अब राजनेता जो है
So the today's
वो जाके
political leaders,
कुछ ऐसा काम करेगा लोक संग्रह के लिए वो वास्तव में लोक संग्रह करता है वो झाड़ू लगाएगा
so you see the political leaders for getting votes, they may go to
वो
some
झाड़ू
place
लगाने के
and
लिए
they
वोट
may
लगाना
start
चाहता है
sweeping the place. So he is not
वो
sweeping
झाड़ू दिखाने
because
के
he
लिए
wants
आया
to
है कि
sweep.
भाई मेरा
He
फोटो
is
खींचो
sweeping just to show that
और फिर
please
उसको
take my photo
आप टेलीविजन में दिखाओ कि
and
देखो मैं
then
कितना
show
काम
that on
करता
the
हूँ
television. See how much I work.
केवल दिखाने के लिए
So that is
और
just
वो
a
जो कर रहा है
show.
वो भी कर रहा है
So he is also doing Loka
वो चाहता है कि
Sangraha.
इसको वोट मिले लोक
He
संग्रह हो जाए
also
इसका
wants to get
इसके
votes.
पीछे भीड़ चले तो उससे किसी का
People
कल्याण
should
नहीं
become
होगा
his followers. So this is
ऐसे लोक
not of
संग्रह की
going
बात
to
यहाँ पर नहीं
benefit
कर रहा है
anybody. This is not the Lok Sangraha that Bhagavan is
कि
speaking of.
रथ आया ठाकुर जी का रथ यात्रा जगन्नाथ की तो
That there is Rath
जाके
Yatra,
झाड़ू लगाया
there you go and just do little bit
उसको
of
बोलिए
sweeping and click a
कि ये आपकी
photo.
विशेष झाड़ू होगी
And that
इसको
broomstick is
लगाया
also a
जाएगा
very special one because you are a very special
तो
person.
वो लोक संग्रह की बात यहाँ पर नहीं कर रहा
That is
है
not
जो
the Loka
ईश्वर की
Sangraha
भक्ति
that
की सेवा
Bhagavan
करना
is
है
speaking of here.
जो आचरण करना है वो
The
दिखाने के लिए
seva
नहीं
that we should do, the behavior that
कोई
we should
ऐसा नहीं कर रहा
imbibe,
है कि
it should
दिखाने के
not
लिए
just
जो
be
वास्तव में
showing
कर
off
रहा है
for
लोगों
showing
को
off
वो
to
दिखाने के
people.
लिए कर रहा है
Because that also happens. Some great person is
वास्तव में करना
behaving
चाहता
in
है
a proper way, but just to show
तो
off
वो
to people. He actually does not have
सही नहीं
Shraddha
है
in that
वो भी ठीक है कम
proper
से कम
behavior.
लोगों में कुछ संदेश तो
That
जाए
is also okay because at least he is giving
भगवान
some
तो ऊपर
proper
दिखाई नहीं
message
देते
in the society. But Bhagavan is watching everything.
तो ये हृदय से होना चाहिए
So this proper behavior, it should come from the heart.
इसलिए भगवान इस पर यहाँ पर ये देते हैं
So
यदेद आचरति
here
श्रेष्ठ
Bhagavan is
तत्
speaking.
पवित्रो जन हिंदी में कहावत है यथा राजा तथा प्रजा जैसा राजा होता है वैसी
So
प्रजा
it's a
होती है।
common proverb that public
जैसे प्रजा राजा की तरफ
emulates the
देखती है,
king.
राजा क्या कर रहा है क्या नहीं करता है। जैसे आजकल के
Because public
राजनीतिक
watches the king, whatever they are doing.
प्रभाव पड़ता है ना
Like
समाज
nowadays we have these politicians,
में। अगर
the
सदाचारी होंगे
leaders in
तो समाज
government.
भी सदाचारी हो जाएगा,
If
और
they
अगर वही भ्रष्ट
if
होंगे
they
तो
have
समाज
sadachar,
भी
then
भ्रष्ट
the
बनेगा।
society will also imbibe sadachar. But if
आज
they
भी समाज में
deviate,
इतनी
public will also deviate.
कुरीतियां
So
और
we see
गंदगी
so
है,
many
तो
deviations
ये
in the society nowadays.
इसका एक मूल कारण है कि हम
The
जिनको श्रेष्ठ
one of the
मानते हैं
fundamental
उनको
reasons of
श्रेष्ठ
this is
नहीं
that
मानते,
those whom we
और
consider
यही
shrestha or
समस्या
great
आध्यात्मिक
are
मार्ग में
not
भी है
actually great, and this is the
कि
problem in
जिन
the
लोगों को
spiritual path
आज
also.
समाज में नहीं है,
These
राजनीतिक
deviations are not
या
just
एक
in the
आध्यात्मिक मार्ग
ordinary
में नहीं है,
society, even in the spiritual
हम ये
path
सब
the
सुनते
same
रहते हैं
problems are there.
कि जो लोग
We keep
आचार्य
hearing
बने
about all
हुए
this,
हैं
that people who are
जिनके
gurus
हजारों
or
लाखों
acharyas who are
फॉलोअर्स हैं,
having thousands and lakhs
वो
of
लोग आचरण करते
followers,
हैं,
and they behave
तो उससे क्या
in
होता है कि लोगों का
immoral
विश्वास
way, and then their disciples or followers,
विहीन
they
हो जाता
lose the
है,
shraddha,
श्रद्धा टूट
they lose
जाती
faith in the
है।
gurus.
हालांकि मैं तो सलाह दूंगा कि उन
Although I
उदाहरणों
will
में अगर ठीक है
suggest, I will advise
तो भी
that
हम उनको अपनी श्रद्धा
there
नहीं छोड़नी
even if
चाहिए,
those
क्योंकि
people do
जो
not
उनका
have
जीवन है
proper behavior,
उनका
the
जीवन हमारा
common
जीवन
public,
नहीं
their
है।
followers, they
अगर
should
हम
not lose
आचरण
shraddha.
कर रहे
This
हैं
is my advice.
तो
Because
उनका फल उनको मिलेगा,
those who are
इस
not,
प्रकार
those who are
हम
gurus or
सही
whatever,
मार्ग पे
if
आए।
they are not following properly, they
हालांकि
will
बहुत लोग करते हैं
face their karma.
कि
Why should I
उनका
give, why should the follower
ठीक नहीं है,
lose shraddha? Why should the
उससे
follower
प्रेरित होके
give
वो
up the spiritual
आध्यात्मिक
path?
मार्ग जो भी
Because many times it happens, the follower or disciple,
कर रहे
he
हैं
gives
उसको
up
छोड़ के फिर वो
spirituality, gives up his bhajan
समाज में जुड़ जाते हैं।
when he observes that the
ऐसा नहीं
guru
करना
is
चाहिए,
immoral.
क्योंकि
So this should not
शास्त्र
happen,
एक वस्तु है, अगर हमारे
because
उसमें श्रद्धा है,
if we have shraddha in
कोई भी
shastra,
व्यक्ति जिसमें हमने अपनी श्रद्धा निहित की, अगर वो शास्त्र के
if
अनुसार
we have
आचरण
placed
करे तो
shraddha
हमें
in
कम से
somebody
कम
who is
स्वयं
like a
को
guru, if
पतित
that
नहीं करना
person
चाहिए,
is not following
हमें शास्त्र के अनुसार
shastra,
चलते रहना
we
चाहिए
should at least not fall down
और सोचना चाहिए कि भाई उनका कुछ
from the path of
चल रहा है तो
spirituality.
ऐसे
We
होगा,
can simply
दूसरे के
understand,
लिए
think
नहीं है।
that what he had
आप
some karma or
अगर
whatever,
आते हैं तो
he
आपके लिए आते
deviated.
हैं, दूसरों के लिए थोड़े
Because we
करते
should
हैं।
remember that we are coming on the
ऐसा
path
नहीं
of
कि जो मेरे लिए
spirituality for
करते हैं
uplifting
दूसरों के लिए
ourselves,
थोड़े करते
not
हैं,
for others. Like you
ऐसा
are
नहीं होना
eating
चाहिए।
food for nourishing
इससे
your own
दूसरों को
body,
नुकसान
not others'
होगा,
bodies.
तो इसलिए हमें
That is
अपना
why
उद्देश्य
we should
दृढ़ रखना चाहिए,
be very much determined
दूसरों से
to
सीख लेना
achieve
चाहिए
the goal.
कि जो ऐसा गलत आचरण किसी ने किया है, निषिद्ध आचरण
If
किया है, उससे
somebody
उनको
has
अच्छा लगेगा
behaved in an immoral
तो
way,
ऐसा
being
नहीं
a
करना
guru or
चाहिए,
whatever, then we should
तभी हम
in
उस
fact
आचरण
take
को छोड़
lesson
सकते
that
हैं।
we should not behave like that. Not that we only start emulating that person
तो ये
or we give up our
आचरण
own
जो है
path.
ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण चीज है।
So that's why this acharan or behavior
तो दो
is
प्रकार के व्यक्ति हो
extremely
सकते हैं,
important. So there may
एक
be
व्यक्ति वो
two
है जो
two
शास्त्रज्ञ
types
है
of people. One
लेकिन
is
आचरण नहीं करता
who
है,
understands, who has learned shastra but not
उससे भी अगर हमें
following
सीखना चाहिए तो
properly.
लेना चाहिए।
So we can take some lesson
चाणक्य
from
पंडित कहता है
such
कि
a person also. Chanakya says
वो
that if gold
नाली में पड़ा हुआ है
is,
तो
if
उसको
gold is in a drain, then
साफ करके
you
फेंकना
take
चाहिए।
the gold and clean it
अगर अच्छी शिक्षा
and use it. So if you are
अच्छी
getting
शिक्षा भी दे रहा
proper
है
lesson, proper
और
instruction, even
दूसरे
from
उसको
a
नहीं दे
child
रहा है तो उसको आप
or
ग्रहण कर
from
लीजिए,
a learned
और
pandit,
उनका आचरण ठीक
then
नहीं है
you take
तो
that.
उसको मत
And
ग्रहण
if you
कीजिए।
see that person is not behaving properly, don't take that behavior part.
और दूसरा
You
व्यक्ति है
should remain focused
पढ़ा
on
लिखा
achieving
नहीं
your
है
own goal.
लेकिन उसका
And it may
आचरण
also
अच्छा है,
happen that somebody is not a learned
तो
pandit,
उसका हमें
not a
अनुकरण करना
shastragya,
चाहिए।
but he has good behavior. Then we should imbibe the good behavior
शास्त्र
from
में
that person.
कमी हो सकती है
But there may be one
कि वो
problem in that
शास्त्रज्ञ नहीं है,
person,
ये भी
that
संभव
if
है
he is not
कि वो
shastragya,
शास्त्रानुसार ना हो,
then it may
तो इसलिए
happen
हमको
that
ध्यान
his
रखना चाहिए।
behavior is not according to
इसमें वो गलती
shastra,
कर सकता है।
because
और तीसरा
we may
जिसको
make
हम
that
आचार्य
mistake.
बोलते हैं वो है जो
And third
शास्त्र
is
को
what we
जानता
call
है
acharya. Acharya is one who is learned in
और
shastra
उसको
also and behaves
इस प्रकार
appropriately according to shastra
साधु
also.
संत हमको
That
मिलते
is
हैं, उनका
supreme.
संग हमको
If
करना
we can
चाहिए,
get association of such an
उनसे भी शिक्षा
acharya,
लेनी चाहिए,
we
उनके
must
वचन से भी उनके
take that
आचरण से भी
association very
हमको
seriously,
अपना
and we should
ज्ञान प्राप्त करके
uplift ourselves by taking their instructions and imbibing their behavior.
इसी के लिए हम भगवान जो है यहाँ पर बोल रहे हैं.
So for this reason, Bhagavan is speaking here.
ट्राई करके लोग, ये तर्क जो है ना बड़ा मजेदार चीज है.
So logic is something very interesting.
महापुरुष या कोई श्रेष्ठ व्यक्ति ठीक आचरण नहीं करता है तो तर्क देते हैं, वो नहीं कर रहा है तो हम क्यों.
When a great person, people give this logic that when the great people are not behaving like this, why should I do that? But actually the logic should be opposite, that whether he acts appropriately or no, why should I act inappropriately? I will act appropriately. I will act according to Shastra.
ये कहते हैं कि वो तो उपवास कर रहा है, एकादशी का
Do people give the logic that he is doing Ekadashi, he is doing fasting, so I will also do? No, they don't speak like that.
करते हैं तो आप ये नहीं कहें कि भाई वो नहीं कर रहा मैं भी नहीं करूंगा.
And if somebody is not doing Ekadashi, you are doing, do you say that he is not doing, so why should I do?
आप सांस लेते हुए
So while eating food, you do not say that he is not eating, so I will also not eat. While breathing, while sleeping, you do not give all that logic. So similarly, you should always take the positive, irrespective of from wherever we are getting it. We should not give the logic that his behavior is not appropriate, so why should I behave appropriately? We should think like this, that even if he is not behaving appropriately, I will behave appropriately. I will act according to Shastra. So we should not get influenced by immoral acts or behaviors of other people. So nowadays we see so much deviation in the society. So Bhagavan is speaking this verse, which is a great verse, and many people quote this verse. This is a very important verse, but we have to actually imbibe this verse in our own life, because it is not that some other person is great and I cannot become great. If I lead a life according to Shastra, I will also become great. And becoming great is also a seva to the society. Because society, what is society? It is just a conglomeration of individual people. Society is not a separate object other than people. It's just a collection of people. So if I am improving myself, if I am uplifting myself, so at least I have contributed to improving some part of the society, because I myself am a part of that society. So that's why it is all of our responsibility to become great, and that is done by imbibing good instructions, by learning from proper instructions, proper behavior, and remaining committed to our path, remaining determined to achieve the goal. We should not become influenced by people's immoral talks or behavior. But it happens, we get influenced, because nowadays neurobiology says that there are some neurons in human brain, they call them ape neurons. So like monkey apes others, imitates others. So naturally there is a tendency in us to imitate others. And actually, if we analyze properly, then I feel that this was also a logic behind our Varnashram Dharma. So obviously, the child will be according to the parents only. So why not give them a Varna? Give them a name like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya. Because if parents are Brahman, then child will obviously also be Brahmana, because he is carrying the same DNA, and he will also copy the parents. He'll imitate them. So this is also a Siddhanta behind Varnashram Dharma, although it is not explained like that here. But if you analyze the verse deeply, then you will find that, and we see this also, if somebody's parents are doctors, then the child from childhood only learns so many things about the medical profession. Those people who are Ayurvedic doctors, their children learn so many things about Ayurveda from childhood only. Those who are lawyers, their children learn so many things about law from childhood only, because they keep hearing about all this in their family. So those who are Kshatriyas, their parents, their children used to become Kshatriya from childhood only. They used to imbibe that sort of mindset and behavior. They used to imitate their parents. So this was also a reason, a Siddhanta behind
सत्यता है
the Varnashrama Dharma.
रूढ़िवादी
And this is truth.
उनको
This is not just
भड़काने के लिए उनको
something old fashioned talks just to provoke the people, to exploit them. No, this is the truth.
इसलिए समाज
So that is why,
अगर हम उसको एक अनुशासन में रखना है
if we want to keep the society
उसकी आवश्यकता है आज
in discipline,
में ये सबसे
then we
बड़ी
need
समस्या है
leaders
कि
who will be
बहुत
Shreshtas.
कम देखने को मिलता है
Nowadays, we have a great deficiency of Shrestha people in the society.
तो वो
Earlier, those who were kings,
जैसे युधिष्ठिर महाराज है मैं एक छोटी सी
they were very religious,
समाप्त करूंगा
dharmic.
समय भी हो
So,
गया। युधिष्ठिर महाराज जैसे
I'll tell this small story. You know about Yudhishthir Maharaj. Yudhishthir Maharaj, he lost in the game of dice, and he was exiled for
एक वर्ष अज्ञात
12 years, and he had to live incognito for 1 year.
रहना है
So the Pandavas, they had to live incognito, and if Duryodhan can find them out and recognize their identity, then again the Pandavas will have to be in exile for 12 years.
तो अर्जुन ने बहुत
So when the Pandavas were in living incognito in the Virat kingdom,
कहाँ पर हैं ये लोग क्योंकि एक तो इतने वीर पुरुष और विशिष्ट पुरुष
so Duryodhan tried a lot to find out these people,
तो वो तो शरीर से भी बड़ा
because these people were so famous, and Bhima had such a well-built body,
अरे ये कौन आ गया
he was so powerful that obviously it would be very difficult for him to live incognito. People would recognize him easily. But still, Bhima lived as a cook.
वो तो है
He hid himself as a cook. And Arjuna went into
करने लगा
LGBTQ. He started wearing sari,
नाच
applying lipstick, and he was dancing. So Arjun, such a great warrior, he had to do all this.
सहदेव वो अपनी
Nakul and Sahadev, they were working in the for the horses,
के साथ में
and Yudhishthir Maharaj, he was like a servant to the king.
दुर्योधन को एक सूत्र बताया कि अगर तुमको युधिष्ठिर का पता लगाना है तो ये है पता लगाने का कहता आप ये पता लगाइए कि
So Bhishma told Duryodhan that there is only one way to recognize Yudhishthir. Find out which is that kingdom in which everyone is performing dharma, acting according to dharma. No theft, no robbery, everybody is prosperous. Everybody, people, everywhere people are discussing Shastra. If you find any kingdom like this,
यानी कि
immediately you can understand
इतना विश्वास
that Yudhishthir is there only. So Bhishma had so tremendous faith in Yudhishthir that Yudhishthir just by his presence will influence everyone, because every person has his own aura which also influences. Just the presence of that person influences others. So one is our acharan, our behavior, and the other is our own bhava. So behavior obviously influences others, but our internal bhava, that also influences. Bhava is internal, it cannot be seen, but that bhava also influences others.
संत है कि उनके
We have heard of so many great
आपका
Siddha Mahatmas that you just be in their presence and you feel some change in your heart just in their presence. Why does that happen? This is their aura,
भगवान बुद्ध के बारे
this is their bhava. They can influence others just by their presence. It is said about Bhagavan Buddha that when he used to walk, his aura used to spread till 80 miles just by his presence.
में करती थी
That was the extent of his aura.
विशिष्ट व्यक्ति
He was such a great personality. He was obviously an avatar of Bhagavan. So you can now imagine what would have been the aura of Bhagavan himself, of our Goswamis.
तो ये सब होता है
So this is what happens in the society, although we may not recognize it explicitly, but we do get influenced. That is why Bhagavan is speaking here about acharan, about behavior.
आगे कहेंगे अभी समय हो गया
So
प्रवचन यही
we'll stop here, and
किसी को कोई
if you have any question, you can ask.
माइक ले लो
अवश्य मुझे दो प्रश्न है एक 3.20 पर
I have two questions. One is on verse 20. The question is
कि जो राज धर्म होता है उसमें संकट आ सकता है, यानी युद्ध करना है, और आधुनिक काल में अगर अब कोई सोल्जर है, कोई रासायनिक फैक्ट्री में काम करता है, तो उसमें संकट आ सकता है। तो कर्म तो
there may be confusion in Raja Dharma. There may be some problems.
कर्म करना चाहिए, वो ज्ञान
Bhagavan is telling here, do karma.
एक ही
Arjun is thinking Gyan Marg is superior.
ऐसा लगता है कि थोड़े कर्म डेंजरस होते हैं, तो उनसे बेहतर आश्रम में रहकर ज्ञान
So it
योग
seems
करना
that
बेहतर
some karmas are dangerous. So why not live in an ashram and do Gyan Yoga? Answer, Bhagavan will tell this, answer this in the upcoming verses, that do not follow others' dharma.
कि अपने धर्म में आपका निधन भी हो जाता है।
Even if you die performing your own dharma, it is superior to follow others' dharma.
कि अगर आप दूसरे का धर्म करोगे तो क्या करोगे?
Because if you are following others' dharma, then what will happen? You will become a hypocrite.
योग्यता नहीं है,
You will do mithyachar because you do not have the qualification to act like that. Then you will have to present yourself like that. So there will be hypocrisy. So this is the problem today in society, that earlier there was a system of adhikar. People were given roles according to their adhikar, but now anybody can do anything.
बच्चा वो भी गुरु बन रहा है।
Even small children are becoming gurus. 10-year-old kids are becoming gurus. They have not studied any shastra, nothing, and the small children are having millions of followers.
और वो केवल थोड़ी नाटकबाजी कर रहा है।
And just a little bit, acting like a guru, speaking something, little bit he has learnt from the parents, and he is acting like a guru.
कहीं गा दिया, कहीं रो दिया, कहीं
Somewhere he is laughing, somewhere he is crying, somewhere he is dancing. This is just entertainment. This is not spirituality.
दिखाने के लिए होते हैं।
Spirituality is not a show off.
तो अपना धर्म का पालन करना
So you have to follow your own dharma.
कश्चित् महात्मन परोपदेशे पांडित्यम दूसरे को उपदेश देने का पांडित्य तो बहुत है।
It is very easy to give lectures to others.
जे आचरहिते घनन नर न घने।
Many people have the capability of lecturing others.
तो क्या वो दोहा है ना कि ऐसे लोग बहुत कम हैं जो अपना आचरण करते हैं। परोपदेश कुशल बहु तेरे जे आचरई ते नर न घनेरे। कि दूसरे को उपदेश करने वाले तो बहुत मिल जाएंगे।
So you will get so many people who lecture others. In your own home, your father will lecture you, but how many parents actually behave according to dharma? Sanatan Goswami also gives this verse.
पांडित्यम सर्वत्र निर्णाम स्वीय धर्म अनुष्ठानम कश्चित् महात्मा। तो मेन हमारे जो संस्कृति है, भारतीय संस्कृति, उसका
The foundation of Indian culture is acharan, behavior.
आचार प्रभुवो धर्म।
Manuji even says to this extent that
मूल है, स्रोत है,
the source of dharma, the foundation of dharma is acharan
तो धर्म क्या है?
or behavior. Because without acharan, without proper behavior, there is no dharma. All our Veda, Shastras, their essence is dharma.
धर्म का सार है आचरण।
And the essence of dharma is acharan, proper behavior.
थोड़ा आचरण कीजिए वो महत्व,
So,
ना कि आप बहुत
following little bit of Shastra is far better than speaking a lot about Shastra and not following anything.
बाबा जी, मेरा दूसरा प्रश्न है
Next
कि
question.
ये जो भगवान जी आर्गुमेंट दे रहे हैं कि
So, the argument that Bhagavan is giving about acharan,
कि मैं कुछ गलत
about proper behavior. So Arjun can also say that I am not doing any immoral behavior. I will go to ashram and I will do yoga sadhana. I will follow Gyan Marga. So answer, yes, Arjun can speak like this, but he is not qualified to do this. So he will actually not be able to follow this. Suppose he goes there and now he is in a little, he's in moha, attachment to his family. But if he goes to some ashram and he does sadhana there and there somebody insults him, then how will he react? Immediately he will start fighting because this is his swabhava.
जैसे आपको कभी-कभी क्रोध आता है,
So, like when you become angry towards somebody,
पत्नी पर ही क्रोध आ जाता है,
let's
तो वो
say
तो आप
to
क्या
angry
कुछ बोल देते
towards
हैं,
your friend, your
लेकिन जब
wife,
शांत
whatever.
हो जाता है तो
So
कहते हैं
you
"हाँ,
may
मुझे
speak
माफ
lot
कर
of
दो,
things out of anger. Later you say that please forgive me. I just spoke out of anger.
तो
I
आप
did not mean that.
इमोशनल हो जाते हैं, भावुक हो
So when
जाते हैं,
you
गुस्सा
become
आ जाता है, तो
emotional,
स्वभाव बदल जाता है, लेकिन
that
उसको
time your
ठीक करना
swabhava
पड़ेगा।
changes. But that changed swabhava is just temporary.
मूल स्थिति पर आ जाएंगे, जैसे
When
रबर
you
बैंड
come to
है,
your original state,
लेकिन वो छोड़ेंगे तो
like
वही
it's
रहेगा।
like a rubber band, an elastic band. If you stretch it,
तो
if
इसी
you leave
तरह
it, it will again come back to its original state.
नेचर जिसके अनुसार आप काम करते हैं,
So you have to
इसलिए कभी
understand what is your
कोई
primary swabhava.
लड़ाई नहीं है। तो लोग क्या होता है, जैसे घर पर लड़ाई हो गई, जैसे
So what
भगवान
happens
गीता
is
में
that like
चतुर्विधा
people
भक्ति
are, let's say, fighting in their home.
सबसे पहले 4 प्रकार के लोग मेरा भजन करते हैं। सबसे पहले कौन?
Bhagavan says
आर्त।
that 4 types of people do my bhajan. First, he says Artha, one who is under some
मंदिर जाते हैं,
experiencing some misery, under some
परेशानी है,
difficulty.
तो
So he goes to
भगवान
temple
कहते हैं
or
कि मेरे को
church.
ये दो, मेरे ये दो, मेरा बच्चा बीमार
He
पड़ा
says
है।
that Bhagavan, please bless me, give me this or that,
और कभी कभी जब ज्यादा
whatever.
परेशानी होती है तो घर
And
छोड़
when
के
trouble is
साधु
too
बन
much,
जाता है।
then the person leaves home and becomes a sadhu. He comes to Vrindavan.
घर में बहुत लड़ाई हो गया, गुस्सा
Too
आ गया,
much
तो
of
जाके
trouble at home, and he leaves and
साधु
comes to
चाहिए होता है
Vrindavan.
उसका। तो यहाँ
But
आके क्या होगा, फिर वो वही
he, you
करेगा,
just that person just came out of anger,
तो यहाँ पे
so that
शांति
anger will
रहेगी,
not continue.
तो यहाँ
So
पे
then,
शांति
when he
रहेगी,
comes to Vrindavan,
लेकिन
he
इसलिए
will he will make again one more
नहीं
family.
करना था तो घर पे रहते, यहाँ किस लिए
So
आए?
the question is, did you come to Vrindavan, become a sadhu for doing
इसलिए
all
नहीं किया
this?
कभी।
You should have stayed at home only.
स्तब्ध है न दूषित, ये साधु का जो मार्ग है, ये स्तब्ध पुरुषों ने इसको दूषित कर दी। तो उसी के लिए
So
भगवान
the
यहाँ
Stabda people have polluted the sadhu marga. That's why Bhagavan is telling here that Shrestha people should act appropriately.
कि क्या आचरण तथा संस्कार समान है?
In the
क्या
next
आचरण
question,
तथा संस्कार
is
समान है?
Acharan and Samskar the same thing?
मूल है, आचरण जो
Answer, Samskar is the,
संस्कार बीज है,
Acharan is what manifests. Samskara is the
क्या यह बहुत
seed.
गहराई से
Samskara is the
सोचना
tree.
और इसे बदलना बहुत कष्टदायक है?
किसको?
Next question,
आचरण
is Acharan or Samskar very deep rooted and very difficult
संस्कार
to
बदलेंगे तो
change?
आचरण बदल जाएगा।
So answer, if Samskara will change,
आचरण को तो तब
then Acharan will also change.
बदले,
Behavior will also
संस्कार
change.
को बदलना होगा।
In order to change the behavior, you have to change your samskara.
दूसरा प्रश्न है,
Next
पुराने उचित
question,
कार्यों के संस्कार जो
the wrong
भक्ति मार्ग में बाधा
activities which
हैं,
have been done
उन्हें कैसे
earlier,
काबू में
their
करें?
samskaras place obstacles in bhakti. How do we control them? Answer, how to control them? Do your sadhana,
कार्य के पहले थे उनको,
and whatever wrong activities you were doing earlier, now do not do
का
that.
जो संस्कार आपको स्मृति में जब आता है,
And when
तो
those
उसमें आप
samskaras
ना उनके
come
प्रति
back in
उसको
your
राग द्वेष से
memory,
देखें,
don't see those samskaras with ragadvesh.
उदासीन होकर देखें।
Remain neutral towards those samskaras.
कई बार लोग राग से देखते हैं तो मतलब वो उसको करना चाहते हैं, फिर वो
So
सोचते हैं
when
अरे
people view
नहीं
them
होता,
with attachment,
प्रमोशन मिल
they
जाता,
want to do that. They start thinking, if this would have happened, that would have
अज्ञानवश
happened. If what if I would have obtained that?
ऐसा नहीं करो,
Or
ऐसा
they
करो,
see that with dvesha.
फिर दूसरों की निंदा करते रहते हैं,
Many times you see people, they keep criticizing
निंदा
others.
करते रहते
If there is some sannyasi, he keeps criticizing women.
हैं, तो उससे
So he is
जो
seeing women with envy. So by that, you are
उसमें जो
simply
राग है,
strengthening that samskara. So you should neither have raga nor dvesh
प्रमाद
for
असक्ति,
that samskara.
कार्यम कर्म समाज। आसक्ति दो प्रकार की है,
So attachment is of 2 types.
पॉजिटिव एक नेगेटिव, एक
One is
धनात्मक,
positive and one is negative.
तो दोनों से मुक्त होकर आपको काम करना।
So we have to be free of both and act.
धीर ललित जी कृपया अपना प्रश्न पूछें।
Radhe Radhe Babaji, thank you for a wonderful discourse. My question is regards to understanding how Karma Yoga can actually give the ultimate goal. We understand that these 2 types of Karma Yoga, Sarkam and Nishkam, and we're taking Janak Maharaj to achieve the ultimate goal. But then we are taught that Karma Yoga is actually a stepping stone either to the Gyan Marg or to the Bhakti Marg. And then we also see that if you're following Varnashram, if it's not for the pleasure of the Lord, if it's not, then obviously it has no meaning. So I'm just trying to put this in perspective. How do I actually understand it properly? That how can karma yoga by itself lead to the ultimate goal?
तो प्रश्न उनका यह है कि कर्म योग से
So the question is that how can we achieve Bhagavan by karma yoga? Because it has been said, it has been taught that karma yoga is just a stepping stone towards
ऐसा
Jnana yoga.
कहा जाता है और अद्वैत
That through karma yoga you go to Jnana yoga and then you get moksha.
से एक मार्ग नहीं है
And
तो इसको
it is said that karma yoga is not a separate path. So regarding this, I had explained earlier also that karma yoga is of two types. One is the
हम कर्म विहित कर्म करते रहते हैं
karma yoga where we just perform prescribed duty but do not offer it to Bhagavan,
हमारी बुद्धि भगवान पर नहीं रहती
and our awareness is not towards Bhagavan.
को ज्ञान योग में ले जाएगा वहां से
So that karma yoga will take you to Jnana yoga and then you achieve moksha. But the karma yoga that Bhagavan is teaching in Gita
हैं कि इस कर्म से सिद्धि
and says that this karma will give you perfection,
स्वे स्वे कर्मणि
and later in 18th chapter he also says
कि अपने अपने कर्म को करते हुए आप
that
स्वयं भगवान
you can achieve perfection
तो संसिद्धि
by performing your karma.
और 18वें अध्याय जो कि अंतिम है वहां फिर इस बात को कहते हैं
In 18th chapter he will repeat this.
जब आप उस कर्म को जो है निष्काम भाव से करते हैं और
So that karma yoga is done with nishkama bhav to achieve Bhagavan. If you study Bhakti Sandarbha, there Sri Jiva Goswami has explained this.
तीन प्रकार से कि
You can do karma in three ways.
भौतिक वस्तु प्राप्त
One is you want something material or you want liberation, that is Kaivalya karma, and third you want bhakti. Karma can be done in three ways. So you perform karma and offer it to Bhagavan, and your offer with the goal that I just want bhakti, Bhagavan, nothing else. So that karma can give you siddhi, give perfection.
संदीप जी का प्रश्न है
Next
आमतौर
question.
पे देखा गया है कि अधिकांश भक्ति
It is
आचार्य
generally seen
सन्यासी हैं।
that generally the bhakti acharyas have been sannyasis.
कोई उदाहरण है
Is there any example of grihastha acharyas? So answer, there are many examples in Shastra. In Bhagavatam, most are grihasthas. Study Chaitanya Charitamrit. Most of Mahaprabhu's associates are grihasthas only.
समाज में बहुत हैं अब मैं आपको उदाहरण
Now also there are many in society. Now if I give you an example of a person whom you don't know, what is the use of that? So you study Bhaktamal, study Bhagavatam, study Chaitanya Charitamrita, whether it is Prahlada or Dhruva or King Prithu, all these were grihasthas, all the
एक भी सन्यासी नहीं है
bhaktas of Vraja. There is no sannyasi
चाहे गोपियां हैं
in Vraja, whether it is Bhagavan's sakhas, Bhagavan's friends or the gopis. There is no sannyasi in that.
Can I ask in English? Here Krishna is explaining that by taking shelter of buddhi, one should uplift oneself or let go the ashakti in karma fall. And then later on, he's telling like, dadami buddhi yogam tvam. And is this the same buddhi that we already have? Or is this...
there means प्रेम उनका प्रश्न वास्तव में इससे थोड़ा हटके ही है कि यहाँ भगवान कहते हैं बुद्धि का प्रयोग
So the question is,
मैं आपको बुद्धि योग देता हूँ
here Bhagavan is, she is asking that Bhagavan is telling use your buddhi. Later he says, I give buddhi.
प्रेम
No, their buddhi yoga means prem,
क्योंकि भक्ति तो पहले ही कर रहा है वो
because he is already doing bhakti.
ठीक है
Whatever action a great person performs in 21, and whatever standards such an eminent person sets, seems to say almost the same thing. So what might be the shade of understanding between the two sentences in verse 21?
सेट का मतलब वो पूछ रही है कि जो 21वें
So
श्लोक में
her question is that in 21st verse, what is said
वो आचरण करता है और फिर वो
that
प्रमाण करता है
whatever a great person performs,
तो तो सेट द स्टैंडर्ड जिसको आप अंग्रेजी में बोलते
So
हैं,
in English, when you say to set the standard, that is here yat pramanam kurute.
उसको बताता है, समझाता है कि ये
Pramanam kurute means he explains that person that this is the pramana.
और प्रमाण
Acharan is what he himself is
वाणी
doing,
से बोलता है
and pramana he
इसका ये
speaks
शास्त्रीय प्रमाण है, इसका
that this is the shastra pramana.
ये दोनों में अंतर है। समझ आए?
One is speaking and the other one is behaving.
Right. प्रार्थना श्लोक। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपाल नंदनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर भोक्ता गीता दुग्धम गीतामृतम महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्र गीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मंत्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयः स्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम् यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिर् ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांघ्रये भवे भवे यथा भक्तिः पादयोस्तव जायते तथा कुरुष्व देवेश नाथस्त्वं नो यतः प्रभो नाम संकीर्तनं यस्य सर्वपाप प्रणाशनं प्रणामो दुःखशमनस्तं नमामि हरिं परं। हरि ओम तत्सत्।